Idaho is a great state to be involved in agriculture, but the landscape is changing. More groups are coming to Boise to push their interests that aren't always in the best interest of farmers and ranchers. Agriculture organizations, commissions, and entities of all kinds are in high gear to be in the conversation with these groups, lawmakers, and the general public. A very bright spot is that agriculture groups in Idaho have a desire to work together to protect farmers and ranchers, even if they disagree on an issue from time to time. Moving forward, the need for these collaborations will be instrumental to advance the cause of agriculture. The Idaho Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of Idaho agriculture, is fortunate to own one of the closest land parcels next to the State Capitol building in Boise. Our current building sits on the corner of 5th and Washington and was originally purchased by the Mutual Insurance Company of Idaho in the 1960s and later sold to Farm Bureau Federation. Although the deed to the building was paid off in 1992, major renovations and expenses followed due to the age of the structure. In 1999, Farm Bureau leadership funded a feasibility study and hired architects to look at taking down the old building and replacing it with something new. However, one of the limitations for a new building was that Farm Bureau only owned one corner of a city block, which limited the amount of office space and parking. As the new century began, the idea of a new building didn't go away. It just changed. With an eye on the future in Boise, the Idaho Farm Bureau State Board purchased a small adjacent strip of land in 2007, and then the adjoining property with the bank building in 2018. With these purchases, the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation owned the entire half of the Boise block. After the pandemic of 2020, the Idaho Farm Bureau State Board voted to hire an architect firm to re-explore building opportunities to capitalize on this prime real estate close to the Capitol. It is very important to understand we have saved for decades and been wise in our financial decisions to undertake this opportunity. The following images show the most current concept that is being researched for this property. This concept involves a 5-story building that would have office space on the first 4 floors. The Farm Bureau Federation would only occupy a section of the building while the other areas of the building would be occupied and financed by other investors. The first floor would have a common lobby to access all floors. The first floor would also have the potential for retail space. A 3-story parking garage with 118 parking spaces would connect to the building, and these parking spaces would be designed to accommodate larger pickup trucks. The final concept of the building addresses the ability to host large gatherings, whether it is for business meetings or social events. A board and conference room would occupy the 5th floor with moving walls that would open up to outdoor reception area. This floor would be used for networking gatherings and could also be rented by approved groups. The objective of the building, and the 5th floor specifically, is to bring ag groups together to influence overall policy that will affect Idaho farms and ranches in the future. So, where are we at today? While nobody has been contracted to construct a new building, the State Board has authorized steps to compile and assess the feasibility of this concept. All information is currently being received and reviewed. The goal for a new building remains to be a sustainable voice and presence for agriculture. In other words, we want to have the right agriculture people in the right places at the right times with the right people having the right conversations. If we don't, someone else will. The creation of the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation in 1939 was to have a voice in Boise and pull people together. Since that time, we have evolved as an organization. We have advanced as a working partner with our friends in other agricultural groups. Again, we have saved for decades and been wise in our financial decisions to undertake this opportunity. We believe that every ag organization has people with answers for the future of farming. We just need the means to stay connected for the long run. In the end, we hope this short presentation leads to a basic understanding of the history of the Boise building concept that will lead to good conversations.